Well, now that we know that Harley was your favorite dog for
Well, I
good
didn't say
reasons.
that.
No. Welcome to Hope Lives Here podcast. It's known as the Working Lead. And today I'm really excited to have Brooke here to interview her, and we'll go from there.
Yes.
Awesome.
Hi, James.
Hi, Brooke. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Excellent. I'm doing well myself. Thank you. Tell us about yourself.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, your background. Not necessarily you were born or anything, but I mean, where were you raised? How was the family life, whatever?
So I am Brooke Melton. I was raised in Canyon, Texas, not far from here. Graduated from there, and I went to college at West Texas A&M.
Okay.
Played basketball there. I was a elementary school teacher for 15 years.
Well, then that qualifies you to work with veterans,
Yes,
I see.
yes.
Okay,
I think God had a
excellent.
plan.
Excellent.
Most definitely.
Part of the plan, huh?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. And so, how did you go from being a school teacher to starting Hope Lives Here?
So I started Hope Lives Here in 2015. I did not resign from teaching until 2017.
Okay, so you're doing both at one time.
I was.
Okay.
Yes, I was.
Well, I can imagine that could be really hectic.
It was hectic. It was a lot. Yes.
Well, I can imagine. What started, or what gave you the inspiration to work with veterans specifically and start Hope Lives Here? What was that moment that it just like, aha, this is what I need to do?
So I'm going to go back many, many years ago. I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. And God said, you need a dog.
Okay.
And I said, no, I don't.
Now you can't get rid of them, man.
And it's so funny that actually this morning I was thinking about the story and my story and how everything came about. And at that point in my life, I almost adopted a cat.
Wow.
Did you know this?
No, I did not know
I
this.
didn't think you did. Not very many people do. So at that time, I was like, I think I'm going to get a cat. I just need something. Of course, God's saying, you need a dog. And I'm like, no, I need a cat. I lived in a duplex in Canyon with my brother. So Brett, if you're watching, hi. And I thought, I don't know if I thought a cat would be easier or less maintenance so I went to my boss at the time and I said, I'm thinking about getting a cat. And she said, do you know anything about cats? No, I don't know anything about cats. And she said, have you ever had a cat? No. And she said, well, then you don't need a cat. And she listed the things that they did. And I'm like, that'll be fine. It's cool. And then I said, I think I'm going to get a kitten. And she said, but they grow into cats, Brooke.
Yeah, they don't always stay.
And she knew me fairly well. And she said, you don't need a cat. So crazy enough, like I said, after being diagnosed, sometimes God throws little pebbles at you.
Things kind of just fall in place for some reason.
And then it's like a rock.
Yes.
And then it's like a bigger rock. And then it's like the whole mountain. Anyway, it's a crazy story. I'm going to tell you about the day that I actually got Harley and the whole reason we're here now.
Okay.
If you want to hear it.
But, of course.
So it was Valentine's Day let me backtrack. So after being diagnosed, I was very afraid, very alone, very codependent, which I think you can understand.
Oh, yes.
A little bit of that.
Oh, yes.
At the time, a dear friend of mine, which she's still a great friend of mine, we worked together, and she was kind enough, because I was so, I don't know if distraught is the right word. There were days that she would come pick me up from work and she would take me home. We would go to the grocery store because I was too afraid to go. We would go do things daily activities that you had to get done.
They sometimes can be tough.
Yes.
Yes, I understand completely.
And so she would go with me. And so fast forward, it was Valentine's Day 2003. And I was going on a date that night, which was very unusual for me at that time. And he was actually just a friend of mine, but we were going to have a date night for Valentine's Day. And she called me that day, and it was a Friday, and she said, I'm going to get a puppy in Clarendon. Would you like to go?
Oh, okay. Very cool.
And she said, because I know you, and you don't want to go on this date anyway. And no, I don't really want to. Yeah. She said, you don't even want to leave the house. And I said, well, no. So I said, let me call the guy, and I canceled on him. Hope he forgives me for that. I'm sure he does. But so she came and got me, and we went to Clarendon. And there were 8 puppies that she wanted to look at, and they were this part we're going to have to cut out because I'm having a little hard time.
That's okay. Just let it be natural. Don't try to.
But they were golden retriever English setter mixes, and that's all we knew about the puppies. And of course, I didn't care at the time. Yeah, because I'm like, I'm not getting a puppy, so
you're just going for the ride.
Why do I care? I'm going for the ride. It's Friday. It's Valentine's Day. Don't really want to be alone. So, and what's crazy about it is the puppies were only 3 weeks old.
Oh, I know.
So we get to Clarendon, and there are, I don't know how much you know about English setters, but they're kind of black and white. And then you have your golden retriever. So there were, like I said, there were 4 that were goldens and 4
that were black.
Were black.
Yeah.
And so she's talking to the owners of the dogs, and there's this box of puppies.
Now, that reminds me of something else, but we won't go there.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I'm like, well, I don't know what to do, and I go over there, and I'm just hanging out, and she's getting all the information, and as many times as I've told this story, I've never really told it in depth as I am today, but I don't know that it ever gets easier. But I reached down in the box because I'm like, well, I'll just pick up one.
Oh, there you already got caught
I'll
there.
Just pick up one. And it was there was something about this particular puppy. I believe he was the runt. So they told me later. Because again, I was getting a cat. I wasn't getting a puppy.
Well, of course. But I mean, at that age, they're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so I pick him up, and I'm like, hey, little guy. Well, he starts licking me.
Did you already have a name for him?
In the face. No. Okay. I'm just like, oh, I don't even know. I can't even describe. I think at that point, because I had been through a lot, I think that was the first time I'd felt peace in a very long time.
I can relate to that. Just Stanley, just having Stanley around a lot of times, it has a calming effect. Okay. And so I'm very grateful for that. And I'm glad that you had that connection.
Well, it was insane. And I was still like, no, God, I don't need a dog. I don't want a dog. I live with my brother in a duplex. We don't have a yard. We don't have,
anything.
I don't have supplies. My parents are going to kill me, I don't even know if dogs were allowed in the duplex, So anyway, he begins licking my face, and I'm just like. So, long story short, we went home with 2 dogs.
2 dogs
that day. She got one of the Goldens. And Harley was looked a lot like Stanley. Was one of the black dogs. And
well, here we have a picture.
Yeah.
So it's excellent picture, by the way.
Yeah.
I think so.
So we and it's funny, we stopped, I think, at the Grand on Walmart because I'm like, hey, I don't, because she was prepared. You know, she had all the things for this dog.
Yeah, she was planning.
And I'm like, we have to stop somewhere because I've got nothing. Mm-hmm. So that is how I got Harley. And, you know, unbeknownst to me, he was so little. Of course, they were weaned from their mother, mm-hmm. their mom. And I had friends that told me years later, we really didn't think he was going to make it because he was so tiny.
So tiny, yeah.
And so, you know, young, mm-hmm. but I was, you know, thank God. I guess I was just, I fed him, I watered him, I loved him, and he lived, you know, mm-hmm. So I didn't know any different.
Well, no, I mean, you know, I think one of the big things is with dogs is that love factor, that connection. It's kind of a magical thing, mm-hmm. And it's different than with people. But there's something. It's hard for me to describe it.
Oh, so, you can't describe it.
But yeah, I mean, but I know exactly what you mean. I keep saying
You're fine.
And I think I've been blessed twice, both with Annie and Stanley. So, okay, so
back to your original question. That's how Harley came about. You know, and sometimes I think about if I would have gotten a cat, we wouldn't be here.
Exactly. I mean,
you know, I don't think, nothing against cats.
Well, no.
But God said,
you need a dog,
whether you like it or not.
You're gonna get one.
And Harley lived. I don't know if you want to talk about this, but
this is
he.
How do you feel about it? I mean,
I've had several dogs since then, and I've loved every dog with my whole heart, of mm-hmm. course. But yeah. Harley was very different. You know, he was there in a very different time in my life, mm-hmm. very difficult time in my life.
Difficult time, yes.
And I feel like for many years, probably, my life was devoted to him, and his was devoted. You know, his life was devoted to mine, and we just clicked. And taking care of an animal too will help bring you out of a dark place.
You're caring for something else, mm-hmm. And for myself, if I can't take care of myself, I can't take mm-hmm. care of Stanley or Annie. Mm-hmm. So I can relate to that a great deal. Yeah. So, what was the point that you brought your thoughts together about? You know, I need to do service dog training with veterans. Why veterans?
So I'm going to speak a little bit more about Harley because
of course.
He was very involved.
Yeah.
So Harley got very sick mm-hmm. at the age of 8. And again, I've told this story many times, but they're always difficult to talk about.
I understand.
I was still teaching at the time, mm-hmm. and it was before school started, but mm-hmm. I was going to go, you know, to the school and kind of catch up on my room, get a little head start. And once again, God is telling me, because Harley was fine.
Yeah.
I thought mm-hmm. that morning when I left, the days prior to that. So I was working in my room and something said, you need to go home. And you need to go home right now. And I kind of brushed it off. I need to run some errands. And again, it was just this.
A gut feeling.
Gut feeling. You need to go home right now. Mm-hmm. So I went home, and Harley was very, very sick.
Sorry to hear that.
I didn't know that much about, you know, veterinary care or anything like that, mm-hmm. but his gums and tongue were white.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm. And I knew enough to know that it wasn't good.
It wasn't good, yeah.
Yeah. So I, of course, rushed him to our veterinarian, and at that point, I mean, this was 2008, so this was a long time ago. The vet that we saw at that time didn't have the equipment to diagnose him, but he said, I'm pretty sure he's eaten up with cancer. And dogs are very resilient.
Yes.
And so I felt terrible because I felt like he'd been sick for a long time, and he probably had.
But you weren't aware of it.
But I wasn't aware of it because Harley was acting normal, eating, drinking, running with me, playing in the backyard. So we went to another vet that had the equipment to specifically diagnose him, and he was eaten up with cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And so they gave me the option, you can take him home, and he will suffer, but he will, die at home. Or we could put him down. So it was very hard.
It's a tough thing to have to
probably
decide.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that I've been in that situation, not the same circumstances, but when you have to make that decision, it's life-changing. So
it was selfishly, I wanted to bring him home and just hold him and love him, and
just you wanted to be there with him. One of the things I think is, as a dog owner, I think sometimes you feel like this isn't happening. This isn't going on right now. It's
surreal. It's unreal, or whatever the word is.
Yeah, most definitely, because dogs are in your life. They're a part of your life, and then they become inseparable, and then a part of your life is just it's gone, and that's
a whole part of your heart. I mean, it's just
it's part of you, and that is a tough thing to do.
So I made the choice of, and it was hard. I mean, it took me many hours back and forth, and consulting the vet on staff that day, that evening, that night. And I ended up having to put him down. But before that, I spent a lot of time with him in the room, and we talked.
Yep.
And we cried, and I told him that this wasn't the end of our story.
Okay.
And I told him that, I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I was going to do something so that his memory would live on forever. And I had no idea, so after he passed away, I think you asked me, the original question was, how did we get here?
Yeah, how you came up with working with vets and service dogs together.
So that was in 2011, and I did a lot of research I looked into pet therapy. I looked into service dogs. I looked into a lot of different things, and after a lot of research, specifically in this area, there was no service dog program for veterans. So I went to school, to learn how to train dogs. I also did an internship, an externship.
Can you expand on that? Where did you go to school at?
It's called Animal Behavior College. I did it online.
Oh, okay.
Which they have you do, you have to do an internship and an externship, which is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But I found a place in Albuquerque called Paws and Stripes that very much does what we do here, So I went and visited them, and they allowed me to do my internship there.
Oh, excellent.
And I spent probably, again, I was still teaching at the time.
Oh my, okay.
So I would go on weekends, or I would go at spring break, Christmas break.
Okay.
Whenever we had off, I would take some time off to go and learn their ways of doing things and research, you know, and things of that nature. And just knowing that we didn't have anything here in the Panhandle. You know, we've got lots of people that train dogs, but not specifically for veterans.
Yes.
And not specifically where it's free.
Exactly.
So.
Okay. Why service dogs? Is it because of Harley?
It is because of Harley was, you know, a lot of people think that Harley was my service dog. And essentially he should have been and he could have been.
Yes.
But I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
You know, I just, like I said, after researching, they're just so phenomenal.
Yes.
In the things that they do and can do. And after doing it for 11 years now, I'm amazed every single day. Like, I would not believe it if you told me this is what service dogs do, but I see it every day. And it's insane.
It's insane. And I think that's the only way you can really put it. I can only talk for myself, but from time I got here till now, I feel like I'm two different people. You know, so it's
oh, I know you're two different people.
Hopefully for the good.
Yeah, hopefully for the good, right?
I think so, and I credit that to you guys, and I appreciate that a great deal. What was the first year like?
Oh gosh. So I consider the first year 2 different years. So the first year was I was still teaching, so it was a bit different because we were forming the nonprofit. I was forming the nonprofit. And that's a lot of paperwork and dues you have to pay and IRS things and stuff like that.
I can only imagine.
And so, well, at the time I thought, oh my gosh, this is so hard.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
No.
That doesn't even compare, you know. I consider the first year to be when I resigned from teaching and really, you know, worked here. And that that year was very scary because I no longer have my salary from teaching. I no longer have benefits. You know, I don't have I'm not putting into my retirement anymore, obviously.
It sounds like a giant leap of faith.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I just did it. Of course, that's how I do things, you know. I'm going to do it, and it's going to work because I'm hard-headed. And I'm, you know, oftentimes I don't think, I just leap. Of course, there was a lot of prayer involved, but believe it or not, you know. And there was a lot of times when I just feel like Harley was like, you got it. Like, don't, which may sound completely insane. But it was very, you know, for me personally, very few people know this too, or also, but probably 6 months before I resigned from teaching, I started freezing food.
As in people food or dog food?
People food.
Yeah.
So I would like make my favorite things that I knew I would eat in case.
Oh, in case you couldn't afford food.
I couldn't afford food.
Well, I mean, that's forward thinking. I mean,
so like soups that I knew, because I'm not real big on frozen stuff.
Yeah.
You know, frozen meals, yes, but not things.
Yeah.
You know, so I would make like chili or beans or.
You were prepping.
I was prepping for the end of time. And of course, I have a very loving family. You know, you learn how to penny pinch, and you go to dinner and you eat half of it, and then you take the rest home.
Rest home. There you go.
My favorite was going to eat Mexican food because you fill up on chips and salsa, and then you don't have to eat your meal.
You can take that home with you.
You can take that home.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the financial aspect. Of course, I had other, you know, I had part-time jobs, that I'd never had in my life. I applied to be a bartender, which at the age of 40.
Well, I can see how teaching grade school can go to that too. Okay?
Yes, absolutely. And it was for a veteran organization. So I'm like, surely I can do this, but I'd never waited tables, bartended, anything like that. So I, had that job, which was wonderful, and it also enhanced Hope Lives Here, I feel like.
Yeah. You were in the veteran community.
I was in the veteran community, absolutely. Yeah. And they were very loving. It was tough, and at the time and I look back and laugh now, because yes, I was broke, but it's a humbling experience, and I think back now, I remember one night crying over toilet paper. Like, I can't afford toilet paper, And I, like I said, I had friends that would invite me over to dinner, or,
There were people there to take care of you.
Of course, of course. Yes. And all I had to do was ask for help, but I'm not like that.
Yeah.
So, but, you talk about happy and just very simple life.
Simplicity.
And sometimes that's the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I myself have become somewhat of a minimalist. Right now I have no furniture except a bed.
Right.
But the purpose of that is because I will be moving.
Yeah.
But even before that, I was doing van life.
Yeah.
For a while. And the freedom was really, there's a sense of freedom with living simple. Yeah. And I think it's important.
And you don't, like, I didn't have as many bills. I didn't have, internet at home. I didn't have cable. I think I've told you this story, but I had a laptop that you could watch movies, the discs. Remember those days?
Oh,
mine doesn't have one now. Yeah. So what's crazy about that is when I'd get off work at night, or working at the bartending or whatever at the VFW, I'd go home, and I was watching Lone Survivor one night. Well, it got stuck in my computer.
It wouldn't eject or something?
No.
Uh-oh.
No, James. And so the only thing I had to watch was Lone Survivor every single day.
Over and over.
Because over and over, and I was fine with it. Yeah. But I didn't, like I said, I couldn't watch. I didn't have I didn't have TV. I didn't have internet, so I just couldn't get it out forever. What's funny is Marcus Luttrell, who is, remember Marcus Luttrell?
Yes.
Yeah. So he eventually came and spoke at one of our galas, and I told him that story. I was like, for probably a year, I watched the movie about you because that's all I had to watch.
So maybe did he get it out?
Did he get the CD out? Yeah. No one ever got the CD out. Okay. I eventually just got a new computer. But
okay, that's funny. But no, that's quite the story. So, what is the biggest misconception that people have about service dogs, do you think?
Well, that they're pets, that they're just there to maybe draw attention. Or, what people don't understand about service animals is they're a medical device. And I don't think people understand that. They don't really understand what they do, what they're there for. They're very well-trained animals, but they serve a purpose, just like a walker or a wheelchair or a cane.
They're an assistive device.
They're an assistive device. And yes. I think, there are many misconceptions. People don't understand the rules and the regulations, the ADA rules and regulations.
Have you ever had a dog fail in the program, not meet the expectations, or was unable to complete the program?
Have I ever had a dog fail? Yes. We seldom have we had a dog fail. I believe that I wouldn't call it failing. I would just say that they're not suitable for the work.
Okay.
Doesn't mean they're a bad dog.
No.
It just means that they're not cut out.
They wouldn't have
to be a service animal.
Be able to provide that assistive device aspect of it.
Right. The majority of the time, it's not. I probably shouldn't say this. It's not the dogs that fail; it's the veterans that fail the dogs.
You know, you're not the first one that said that. When I talked to Carl the other day, he said the toughest part of the job was actually the veterans, but he did not mean that in a bad way. And I'm not taking it that way from you, but the veterans that do come here, they have concerns and they have issues that are really hard to address. I mean, I think it's something that is relatively new in regards to addressing their needs and everything like that. And this is one of the programs that really does that. So,
well, I think, and I'm not speaking on behalf of Hope Lives Here. I'm speaking personally. Just my personal opinion. I think your dog. You know, people say my dog is so smart, or my dog's stupid, or which I hate it. I hate it when people say my dog's stupid.
Yeah.
Because I personally feel like your dog is going to learn as much as you want it to, or you don't want it to, and it's your responsibility to do that. Now, some dogs, and this is just my personal opinion, and I've had a lot of dogs in life, some dogs are wired incorrectly. You know, there's a lot of inbreeding that goes on, believe it or not. And there are things that happen when they're in the womb. You know, dogs can get post-traumatic stress when they're in the womb.
Just as people. They're the same as people.
So things happen to the puppies and the dogs as well. But I truly believe that, like I said, other extenuating circumstances. But if you take that away, your dog is going to know as much as you want it to, or not know. You know, they're going to be as smart as you want them to do, or want them to be. You know, people say, or as dumb. They're not.
No, I don't.
You know, it takes a lot of work, and not every dog is suitable for service. I've got 3 dogs at home. Love them all dearly. One of them is suitable to be a service animal. You know, the others aren't, and that's just a fact of life. Annie was actually a therapy dog.
Oh, okay.
You know, Annie wasn't suitable for service dog work because she's just too dadgum friendly.
Yeah.
And she worries about everyone in the room, not just Mama.
Yeah.
You know, James, my dog James, he's just a pet, and he's happy being a pet, and I'm happy that he's a pet.
Yes.
You know, my other dog Memphis, she would be an amazing service animal.
Oh, okay.
If I would just get off my ass and train her. You know, it's not for every dog, and it's not for every person, but back to your original question, I think we fail our dogs a lot of times, and it's unfortunate that, you know, we blame our animals for things that we can prevent.
Yeah. Can you expand on what qualities make a good service dog? What
qualities make a good service dog? So for us, we want them to be friendly, but not too friendly.
Yeah.
They can be friendly out of vest. You know how that is with Stanley.
Oh, yeah.
They need to have a great temperament. They need to, now I can expand on great temperament. Yes. They're non-aggressive. Yeah. You know, they're good around noises, loud noises, wheelchairs, crutches, sweeping. You know, a lot of times at group we get the broom out and, you know, things that you're going to see in everyday life that they're not going to react to.
Yeah.
Now, just because they react to those things in the beginning doesn't mean we can't desensitize them.
Exactly.
To those things.
It's a learning process.
It's a learning process.
Yeah.
You know, if a dog comes in our facility, and oftentimes that's a dog that the veteran has owned, and they're aggressive the first day.
Yeah.
They're not going to make it in our program.
Well, no, I can't see that an aggressive dog would be. First, I think the dog has its wrong priorities. I mean, and so.
Like I said, not all dogs, and it doesn't mean your dog is bad.
No.
You know, and
They're just a different dog.
They just need to be a family pet, and they need to be at home, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No, exactly.
You know.
But for specifically the program, I can see the need for that calmness, that ability to
adjust to different situations.
Yeah, adjust to different situations. Because when I take Stanley out, he does really well. I can be pushing a cart, or I can be holding a basket, or sweeping, whatever. And
there can be a loud bang, and he's okay.
He's like, "Oh, what was that?" But I mean, he doesn't react. Like, he doesn't run towards it or bark at it or anything like that. He may look like, oh, somebody dropped something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as far as like the temperament test, I don't know if you want to talk about that. We can talk about that later. Sorry.
No, go ahead and expand on that.
So when they come in for temperament test, and we do this for the dogs that the veterans already have, but we also do it for the dogs that we're looking for dog selection. We play with the dog. We try to get them to focus on us. We're looking for when we give them a treat, are they soft about it, or are they trying to bite our hands? We play with we look at their ears. We touch their tail, their paws, their nose. We look at everything, and it's almost like a kid out in public that might just touch the dog anywhere. We hug them. Of course, we don't hug them if we think something is going to happen. But
exactly.
And we have an order of events that we do.
So it kind of escalates.
I'm not gonna have your dog walk in and immediately hug them.
Yeah.
But we do a lift, see if they're okay with that. Will they chase a ball? Will they? And that's not a service dog skill at all, but we just like to know their personality and things that they will and will not do, and what they're interested in.
Yeah, Stanley. If I throw a ball for him, he says, "You threw it, you go."
Yeah. Right.
And so, I mean, now Annie's different. But,
we we have a startle response that we do. We have what we call the crazy chicken. The chicken, that makes the crazy noises, and we blow bubbles, and
very cool.
We do a lot of things that
challenging their response, or how they act towards odd things.
Things that are unnatural to dogs, if you will.
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing that. That makes it a little bit more clear on that. But right now, we're going to get down to the nitty gritty, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I thought we already did.
Oh, no. What graduation do you remember the most?
Oh, my gosh. I remember all of them. And all of them are very special. Very, very special. But I think I'd have to say the very first one.
Really?
Yeah.
It was, what made it so special?
What made it so special? So and I've already kind of said this about myself. I get an idea and I'm like, this is what we're doing.
Just do it. Because at maybe the beginning of something.
And so I think it was so this was in 2019, was our first official like graduation where we had the gala. It was our first gala. And I tell you what, everything that could go wrong,
it did. But that's okay sometimes.
And I can elaborate that maybe on another day. But I even have pictures of me. One of my coworkers at the time took pictures of me throughout the process. And then we looked at them after the gala, and we just laughed because she was like, "Do you remember this day when we were here and you were, yelling at this person because this didn't work out?" And
I think that whenever we do something huge for the first time in our lives, sometimes, despite the fact that we may fumble through it, Okay, so it tends to stick with us.
Well, I didn't think it was a huge deal. I'm like, we're going to have a gala, and it's going to be great, and it's really not that big of a deal.
Until
I mean, my
you
gosh,
had a gala, right?
Until I had the gala, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what in the hell were you thinking? You know what I mean?
I'm sure there's a lot involved that you weren't aware of.
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even think it through. This is what we're doing.
Yep,
and then people are like, well, have you thought about, well, no, I didn't think about that, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
But I think, like I said, every gala is very heartwarming and amazing, but you always go with the first one.
Oh,
it was in a very small building. I believe we had 8 graduates that year, and 7 or 8, and so many people were there that and people hadn't RSVP'd, and so we were setting up tables at the end, and I'm running around, and you don't see me doing this now because it's at a different venue, but I'm running around in my dress, and at this point in 2019, and we're setting up tables, and I'm sweating, and I'm setting up tables, putting up chairs, and like I said, this is for a whole nother day, but so many things just did not go well. But it was very special. At the end of the day, I went, wow. I never thought 250 people, because to me, that's a lot of people for the first year.
Oh, exactly.
And cramped. And you look at the pictures now, and I'm like, oh my God, everybody was just like, hey, could hardly even have room to eat.
Yeah.
And it was just a special, we decorated ourselves. We set up we tore down, we cleaned the room, and we don't have to do that now, thankfully. But it was
that's a good thing then.
It was a hot mess express. But
that's something to remember.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Has a service dog ever surprised you?
Has a service dog ever surprised me? I love it when they do things that we think they're not. Like paw is always a thing. And it's funny because Carl and I talk about this. You've seen it. He doesn't like to do it. He doesn't like to teach paw. And I wish he were in here right now because he could help explain it. But it takes a lot of patience. And a lot of time.
Example being Stanley.
Yes.
It was,
And so I wouldn't say they surprise me. I think, again, it goes back to the veteran really working with the dog. Like, I know, and some dogs just don't like to do certain things.
Yeah.
Or they're just not equipped to do those things, I feel like. We've had, I guess in a sad way, we've had a service dog get very sick, very ill. I don't know if that you would say that surprised me. It was unsettling and terrible, but and you have to retire them. But
that could be a challenge in itself.
I think surprised me. Or we could look at it in a different way. They surprise me every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
you never know what to expect.
You never know what to expect, and you're like, oh my gosh, like the light bulb came on and you did it. Or I think the alerts. I'm going to change my answer on that.
Okay.
The alerts to me, the alerts that when they alert and what they alert to, that definitely surprises me.
Yeah. I remember the day that we were in academy. Everything came together for me at that point with Stanley alerting, you mentioning Breathe James, but it was at that junction that everything just all came together. Why did you choose to work with shelter dogs versus a breeding program?
Harley was a rescue dog, and every dog I've owned since has come from a rescue or shelter. And part of our mission here is to give unwanted dogs a very important job. And I also believe, and of course this is just Nothing against puppies or puppy breeders or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, and you can tell me if you disagree, which is completely fine, but I don't feel like some of our veterans would do well with puppies. Because they're a lot, and we don't work with puppies. So if we gave our veterans puppies, it would take a year or two before they could actually get into the program and start training.
That makes sense. I've had many dogs myself throughout my life, and we've gotten some from breeders and some from shelter dogs. I can speak personally to the fact that I can remember we had a Dalmatian one time, but she ended up being deaf. And so you don't really know what you get. And you mentioned it earlier, there's overbreeding and what have you. So,
well, there's inbreeding, there's overbreeding, there's
all kinds of, And I see Harley over there. I see Harley here, Harley here. It's almost, and what you do also, it's almost like Harley's really not gone.
Yes.
And it kind of, his legacy is passed, paying it forward.
Which I, like I said, literally on his deathbed, I told him that, and what's crazy about the logo, I just remembered this, or I hadn't thought about it in years. I was going back and forth to Albuquerque for my internship, and I'll never forget, James. It rains a lot, or I shouldn't say it rains a lot there, but it always rained when I was going in the mountains there.
Yeah.
Have you been?
Oh, yeah. There's a transition.
There's a very weird, and I don't remember exactly where it is it's about 30 minutes out, 45 minutes out. And I'm thinking about the logo. So this was very early on. And one of my favorite Christian songs had come on the radio, but was In and Out, because you're starting to get in the mountains. And so it's In and Out, which I hate. I'm like, just play the song. And it's kind of raining, and I thought, I'm an idiot, because why not use my dog's face for the logo?
Yeah, exactly. That makes perfect sense. I mean, yeah.
And
so that's, where did you get this image for Harley?
So that was done back in 2017, I think. And that image came from, I had dressed him up for Christmas. And I used to dress Harley up a lot. So he always had like a bandana on.
Well, I usually have a bandana on them, but lately with the rain that we've gotten, I side yard's a mud puddle basically, and so I'd be changing that out like every 30 minutes. So,
I think they did a really, really good job on the logo. A lot of people think he's a black lab.
Well,
not a black lab.
It's hard to draw dog faces and dogs in general. For some reason, it's not like drawing somebody's face. And I think it may be the fur factor.
For sure.
Yeah. So, but that's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, now that we know that Harley was your favorite dog, for
I didn't say that.
No, I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad that you incorporated that into the logo, because I think it gives him a legacy, and to a certain degree, you can say Harley, and I know you're talking about, and that's why there's almost a sense of he's not gone.
He'll never be gone to me.
No. Well, good. That's important, I think. So, would you be able to share a story about any particular veteran that's been through your program in regards that had a big impact on you?
Oh my gosh, that's hard. I mean, I could share several. We always talk about the ones that have successfully made it through the program, the ones that come back to Hope Lives Here and hang out, like you, and volunteer and go to events. And we had a particular veteran who actually, we didn't have graduation at the time, but he graduated the program, and his name is James Miller. And he and I, what's crazy, I don't know if crazy is the right word. And how did you get back in?
Through your office.
Did you know I needed you? It's probably James laughing, isn't it? He was I think the third dog selection I did. And later on in life, I called him my guinea pig. He didn't know that. He didn't know that I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just winging it, But we actually, he had a dog. His dog was named Booker. And there's a very special story behind that I can share maybe on another day.
Okay.
But we became very close friends. And I keep saying, I'm sorry.
No.
But he graduated the program. We were very close friends for a long time. And unfortunately, he died by suicide in 2023. And like I said, we talk about, everybody wants to hear the success, how many, but we don't talk about the bad days and the hard days. And when it doesn't go like you expected, because we want to think that service dogs are the end all, cure all.
It would be a beautiful story if that was the case.
And unfortunately, he died by suicide. And not only, I think, first and foremost, him being my friend, that was the hardest part. But also, I think from a business standpoint, you feel like you've failed. Even though I know that's not true. I feel like the more James spoke about Hope Lives Here and having a service animal, he was more confident. And it gave him something to look forward to, gave him something to do, and he loved his service dog Booker endlessly. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, maybe it wasn't enough. I don't know. His demons got the best of him.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's I hear about him often. With Carol,
of course you do. Of course you do. Yeah.
And so, but I know it's tough, and it kind of stays with you. I've lost people. I think one of the toughest things is it doesn't necessarily get better. It just, you become a little numb to it, or it just becomes part of your life.
I think it's just different.
Yeah.
We, as you know, we laugh about, we don't laugh at James, but we laugh about things. He's still here. And we're going to make sure, we have the James E. Miller Memorial Award every year at the gala.
Yeah.
That Sergeant T presents. And we could talk about veteran suicide for days.
It's important, I think.
Well, the stigma. There's such a stigma.
Exactly.
And mental health, there's such a stigma.
But it's been getting better over the last few years, I think, from what I've seen and what I've experienced. But it's not one of those things where it's all fixed tomorrow.
No, it's going to take.
It's a long process.
It takes an army, I feel like, and but James was a huge part of the program, and like I said, he was I wanted him to be in my wedding on my side. You know, we were very close friends.
Yeah.
So there's not a day that goes by I don't think about him and wish he was here. But I would like to think there's some good, you know, that something good came out of his death. And I think his family would agree. But
well, I think I don't know Carol that well, but I can see that he's still around.
Oh yeah, you're not going to forget about her, son.
No,
ever.
And to me, that's inspiring in itself.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. So I would have liked to met him. So
he was a hoot.
But
he
sounds like it.
So. He told the longest, which I feel like I've been talking forever, but and I know his family will think this is funny, and I've told you this, but he told the longest stories.
Yeah.
Down to the date and time of when it happened, what he was wearing, who was there. By the mid-story, you're like, I don't even remember what we're talking about. Like, what was the point?
Yeah.
You know? But they were always great stories. He was a great storyteller. He was always there if you needed him. And from what I hear, he was a great tanker. You know, tankers, they're something different.
They are different. They are different. That is true. What does Healing Heroes 2 at a Time really mean to you?
Really mean to me? Well, I feel like the veterans are heroes and the dogs are heroes. So I feel like I don't really want to say saving lives because I hope we're doing that.
I hope there's say more that of a... I would have to disagree with you there. I think that you are. Okay. Short time I've been here, I know how I feel, and I've seen some other people too, and I've talked to other people that been a life-changing experience. So,
well, thank you. Yeah. I think if we could at least heal or try to heal, that's half the battle.
Oh, getting started is half the battle. Yeah. So, or even recognizing it is half the battle.
Your dog is snoring. We should get a close-up of that. Can you hear?
Is she snoring? Is she? She
used my foot as a pillow.
She's been snoring on and off.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes, and I'm wondering if it has to do with the weather.
You think?
It could be. I mean, I'm not sure. But she doesn't do it every night. Or
only when she spends the night with me.
Oh, no. The first night she laid right by my side and put her head on my shoulder, and that snoring was just like in my ear. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
You're never going to go to sleep.
I'm never going to go to sleep. But you know what? There was a certain comfort level there.
Oh, for sure.
Her body up against mine, and it was just. It's probably one of my best nights of sleep. So.
No, I know. I've slept with your dog before.
Okay. Where do you want Hope Lives Here to go in about 5 years?
Where do I want Hope Lives Here to go in 5 years?
Do you have a vision?
Do I have a vision? I just want to exist and keep doing what we're doing, be financially stable. I hope more veterans are in the program. I hope that we have more staff to assist those veterans. I'd like to say that we'd have 5 offices all over the world, or not all over the world, but, because, Carl and I talk a lot in the board and you and I, and it'd be really cool to have, different locations.
Now, this location, it serves a large area.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
There's like 30,000.
There are 30,000 veterans, or even more, probably.
In the area. And people have come from New Mexico, Oklahoma, south of Lubbock, all over the place.
we talk about having different locations in different states.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what does that look like? Well, that looks like a lot of money.
That looks like.
I'm going to be completely honest. That's a.
How would I think about that when you mention that, and what comes to my mind is, my gosh, how would you transition from, like a single location to, and manage it and everything? Mm-hmm. That's a huge leap of faith. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I have never really.
Maybe someday, and would I say it's a goal? I mean, it'd be awesome, but I don't know. Because we're so small. Mm-hmm. I mean, and like I always say, we're a small organization with a mighty mission. Mm-hmm. And so we want to do what we can here, obviously, mm-hmm. and do it right. Mm-hmm. But if we can branch out, that'd be awesome too. But we have to take care of our people here. Mm-hmm. And what's, it's funny you mentioned that. We get enrollment requests from different states. I mean, Michigan, Arkansas, California. Mm-hmm. And it breaks my heart when I tell these veterans, you have to be able to be here once a week.
Yeah.
And that's just not doable.
It's not doable. Speaking of all over the place, the other day, Carl had mentioned to me that he was looking at some donations, and somebody from Nigeria donated something.
Yeah.
I mean, Nigeria, where does that come from?
I don't know. I really don't. Yeah.
That's really interesting, though, I think.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, I hope that you can reach those goals someday, because.
I mean, maybe, at this point, it's, I don't know if when this started, if you'd have said we'd be sitting here right now, mm-hmm. I'd have been like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
that was 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah. Well, on the other side of the coin, there's something personal about keeping it small, mm-hmm. Keeping it you and Harley. I think sometimes when things grow, it's the nature of the beast, mm-hmm. to lose what it had initially.
Yeah, and we want to be sincere. Mm-hmm. We want to be here. A lot of people, so only 12 people in the program. Well, there's 2 trainers.
Yeah.
And we have to write grants, and we have to clean the building, and what else we're doing this. We're doing, we have to inventory, yeah. And there's a lot that goes on, and 12 people doesn't sound but like a lot. Mm-hmm. But we want that personal communication, mm-hmm. and we want that relationship, yeah. and that family-oriented
environment.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I don't know if I've told you this or not, but it's that aspect that helped me trust, because mm-hmm. I initially had, when I first got here, a huge problem with trust. That was trusting the world. It was hard.
Yeah.
But that personal touch, it feels like family. And it's a hard thing to describe, but it definitely helped me open that door, mm-hmm. to trust and everything. And I think that's a very important thing. I think it's something that not only affects the dogs, but the veteran.
And I think relationships, I grew up, my dad was a coach, a very successful coach, mm-hmm. and he was all about relationships. Mm-hmm. If you don't have the relationship, you're not getting anywhere.
No.
You're not going to be successful. I taught school for 15 years. Mm-hmm. The children I taught, we had a relationship, and I made sure of that, because they're not going to learn from me if they don't trust me.
Exactly.
And we don't have, if I don't care about them. And so that helped me when beginning this, because you have to have that relationship.
Oh,
you can't just be a business.
No, this business involves people and dogs
and feelings and emotions.
And emotions, and that's a big part of it. Mm-hmm. Okay, and all of those are okay. Okay. Tough part is I can only speak for myself. That was a hard thing to deal with when I first got here.
Oh, I know. I remember. I remember.
And I'm still learning. Okay. And am I fixed? No. But I mean, that's okay. But who's ever really fixed?
No,
I mean,
we're not fixed.
It's that would be boring then.
I know. What would we have to talk about if we were all fixed?
Oh, I know. What's the funniest thing that a service dog has ever done?
The funniest thing a service dog.
Do you have any memories of like, oh my God, did you see what that dog just did? Or
well, one time a service dog pooped in the mall. Oh. Which does not happen normally.
Yeah.
And the veteran I was training had forgotten his poop bags. So there at this time, I don't even know if they have them at the mall anymore, but they had like ivy plants growing. Do you remember this at all?
I believe they still have those.
Do they still have them?
I don't think the mall was changed.
So he went and got.
He didn't put in the plant.
He went and got the leaves off of the plant and picked the poop up and put it in the trash.
Oh, okay. At least put it in the trash.
Yes.
Not the plant. Okay.
I was mortified, and I was already mad at him because they didn't have his poop bags.
Yeah.
So that's funny. We were working on many moons ago. We were working on Go to Mommy Daddy, I believe, at a Dollar General store, and the dog ran out of the store.
He just kept going.
So that was funny. Well, I mean, it wasn't funny at the time.
Yeah. But you're like, oh my gosh. Looking back,
else? I don't know. I need to start writing these things down.
One of the things that sticks with me is we were out training at Walmart and doing.
I love that. That was fun. That was so much fun.
The mommy and daddy thing, and Stanley I'm just so happy.
He was so out of character. I mean, in his best out of character, right?
But he had a moment of, it was like, he couldn't hold in the
because service dogs can have fun.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think that's true. But
you don't think it's true?
Well,
that they can have fun?
Oh no, I think they can have fun.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's important. And I think people have to also have fun too.
Well, yeah.
And but he did it in a controlled way, like he was.
He was absolutely under control.
I mean, he didn't like run off or anything like that. But he was just really excited about doing what he was doing.
And you were laughing, and I was laughing.
And Carl was like, "Oh my gosh, I got to film this," you know. So, but that moment really stuck with me too. It was just so.
I think one of my favorite training sessions with you, and I believe Mike was there with Top. We met at United.
Oh yes.
Do you remember this?
Yes, that's the United where Carl left the camera at Starbucks and everything.
Yes.
Yes.
But so I gave you and Mike a list. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
And I said, "Go shopping." And y'all were like, "What?" And I said, "Today's lifelike, and we're not here."
It was fun.
And I want you to buy, or not buy. You didn't pay for it, but I wanted you to
for a party or something.
We were, I was preparing for something, but I had so much fun that day.
Yeah, it was like you said, "Okay, we'll need some corn now."
Yeah.
So we go look at the corn. Do you want yellow corn, green corn, white corn?
Corn on the cob. And I'm like, I don't know. Y'all just go through the store and navigate. And it was all about navigating,
and just
real life stuff. Yeah.
Real life stuff.
Yeah.
But no, that was fun. I remember that quite well. But and that's the unique thing about this too. It's not just training here, but it's going out there and taking the training out there that it's important. Is it difficult to train the dogs, train with the dogs, and then see them graduate and leave?
Like, do I miss the dogs?
Yes.
Absolutely, I miss the dogs. And I miss the veterans. I think all of the dogs have an impact, and oddly enough, around graduation, and you know this because you've graduated, I start to get a little like, they're about to leave.
Little anxiety.
You spend a year, and that's a lot of hours and a lot of time, or sometimes more than a year. And once a week, generally, and then you're like, I'm not gonna see you for a while, maybe, or maybe never again, or.
Well, I think there's an emotional connection, no matter. Once you know something that is alive, there's some type of connection there. No, different with bands, okay, but I can see how that can be hard.
Yeah, it's with both dogs and the veterans. You think I've just spent, and they've gotten to know us, and we've gotten to know you guys, and we hear about, some veterans don't share that much, but most of them do, and then you think, I'm not gonna know what's going on, and I'm gonna worry, and I want to know what's going on, and
just kind of just wonder what happened to so and so.
Yeah,
I can see that. If a veteran is watching this and is struggling, what would you like to have them get out of this podcast?
Out of this podcast? Well, I think first and foremost, on a broader scale, I think that know that you may feel alone, but you're not. There's resources out there, whether it's family, friends, church, coworkers, us. Even if you don't know us, give us a shout. Especially if you're going through something that you feel is uncontrollable, or you're having suicidal thoughts or ideations. I think that's the broader scale.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm not saying that service dogs are the end all cure all, but
they're a tool.
It's a tool. Yeah. And there are resources out there, and if you don't know what resources are there, reach out. I call us, email us, message us. And even if you're not interested in a service animal or our program specifically, because we do know about other programs in the United States and other resources, just reach out, and we're here. That's our job, and it's our passion. It's more than just a job. It's our passion.
Yes, I can see that, definitely.
And so if you're interested in learning about the program, holler at us. Yeah. We're happy to help.
Okay.
So.
Awesome. So, is it coffee before training or after training?
Coffee before training? Coffee always first thing in the morning, bro.
First thing. Okay. Okay.
Unless I'm sick. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Or are we doing coffee now?
No. I'm just kind of a light question. Coffee in the morning.
Coffee.
Coffee
always first.
Always. Okay.
Yep.
Where would you like to see this podcast go?
James, you've got that. Well, I think.
Am I being too broad?
No, I think it's education is important. Some people may love it, some people may hate it. Interested, not interested. I think education is important. Entertainment is important. Sometimes if you can hear somebody else's story and you can relate to it, I think that's very important.
Yeah.
And I didn't mention this. I know I mentioned it earlier, but I'm a civilian with post-traumatic stress. It can happen.
Oh, it's not.
It doesn't just happen to
exactly.
The military. So maybe if we reach a couple of people that are civilians and go, oh, I didn't. Or if you feel like, or people in the audience that feel like, well, I feel awkward because I have this, or I've been diagnosed with this, or what am I going to do now?
Well, people from all walks of life, policemen, firemen, first responders in general. There's a lot of jobs out there that people don't think about the long-term effects and what have you.
Well, sure. And I didn't mention this in the beginning, but when I was diagnosed, I literally asked my counselor, when am I going to be well? How many sessions?
Yeah.
I promise you. How many sessions? What do I take? When is this going to go away?
It's not like a cold.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, sweetie, it's never going away." And I was like, "No, it is."
No.
Because I'm Brooke and it's going away.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get this fixed.
Let's get it fixed.
Yeah. And that was 23 years ago.
Wow.
So,
hence me mentioning earlier, I don't know if I'll ever be fixed or not.
No.
But for myself, I think the important thing is the recognition of, oh, something's happening, or what do I need to do? And that's where Stanley comes in a lot. So,
for sure. For sure. Yeah.
And just the fact that he's close, it gives me a calming effect.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
they look at him. They're giving both of us a calming effect.
Exactly.
But as far as where's the podcast goes, I think just to reach people, help them.
Help them.
And like I said, entertainment, or if they laugh or they relate, and
okay.
I think that's it. Where do you hope it goes? I haven't asked you a thing, so let's talk about you.
Okay. Where I hope this goes is first to help people, so they could be aware. I think what you said, education, is very important. It's like when I got out of the Navy, it was back in '88. No smart comments, please.
I don't do that because
okay. That's Carl,
I'm
right?
hitting 50.
Anyways, when I got out, it was like one day I'm in the Navy, the next day you're a civilian, and it wasn't until 17 years later that I found out that I had benefits to the VA.
I know. That's crazy.
It's partially my fault, and it's partially the military's fault, I think.
I don't think it's your fault at all.
Well, I should have asked more questions.
Don't shoot me for saying that, but no, I don't think.
I
don't think it's your fault at all.
Well, not the things that happen in there, but the exiting of, you go to training to go in.
But they don't give you any tools to get out.
No. Yeah. It's more like,
yeah.
Yep. So, but I think if there was some more knowledge there, that's why I think learning is important. And I have to agree with you. But the biggest thing that I hope that people hear this, I hope that it helps in donations. That'll help you reach your goals and everything. Make the program expand. I would like to see that, because when there's something as positive as this is, I don't want to see it die. No way. I mean, and I would do whatever I had to do to help out.
Well, come hell or high water, it's not, and I think we talked, and I didn't mean to interrupt, but I don't know if you asked me the other day, or if it was Carl, if there was ever a day I didn't think it was going to make it. And I don't know that there were some scary days.
Yeah.
Or time periods, I should say, not days. Yeah. Periods of time. But I don't know. That's just not.
It's unfathomable.
It's not. What do they say? If you have to beg, borrow, steal, whatever.
Yeah, okay. But no, this is not like a restaurant here in Amarillo, which is open one day, gone the next.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. But what I'm saying is, I think there's that connection, that people connection, that is really important. Okay, and to get that message out is important too. And I think that would help more people in need say, hey, this looks like a safe place. Sometimes when we're at the VA, people will approach me with Stanley, and they'll want to get information. And it's something as simple as, oh man, he looks like he has a good thing going. I want part of that. I want that in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And when those
you or Stanley?
No, what I'm talking about is
I know.
I'm happy. I feel comfortable, and Stanley's there with me, and they recognize that's a positive thing when they see it. Mm-hmm. And where I go to the VA a lot, there's people that are struggling in that area a lot.
For sure.
And so when they see that, I kind of feel really proud of Stanley, because I know if Stanley wasn't there, it wouldn't be the same.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So heck, I can't even go to physical therapy without them telling me, "Don't come unless you bring your dog."
Yeah, do they even remember your name, or is it Stanley's name?
They remember Stanley. I can go to the main building, and sometimes people say, "Hey, Stanley." They look at me like, "Who are you?" So. Well, thank you for joining us at Hope Lives Here for another podcast of The Working Lead, and hope you come back, and thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you. Join us again.
Yep. Bye.